Welcome to the Reality Revolution. I'm your host, Brian Scott. And today we're going to return to the Quo material and a sort of compilation of some different material talking about the development and evolution of man and his powers, a discussion of moving beyond the intellectual and overcoming the idea of what is evil. So there's a lot of different stuff here, but as always, Quo is amazing. According to the communications from space contacts, man on Earth has something to learn about the long-forgotten abilities. According to some of these communications, we all should be able to work miracles. The problem is diagnosed as being the atrophy of Earthman's basic mental muscle. Therefore, we see a lot of Quo material on how to regain the natural abilities, which at present we now call psychic or paranormal. Their general attitude is that this mental muscle is not synonymous with the intellect as we know it. Instead, it is a process whereby the basic personal consciousness or vibration of the individual is strengthened through expanding the awareness in an intuitive or non-thinking sense. This process is achieved by means of very simple mental exercises and then is distilled by what you might call the subconscious. Then, in understanding and connecting to the law or the one, an understanding of this brings about these powers. In the beginning, Quo explains the mental exercises have to do with daily meditation. Much can be said for the magnificence of silence. For in silence one may hear the musical voice of God. Listen just for a moment and feel life as it exists. Look into your brother's eyes and see the love of God in the reflection. Don't look up for God, look in, for it is within each man that he exists with powers unlimited. It is necessary, Quo says, in addition to practicing this form of meditation, for you to become aware of the original creation and not creation of man. Pay attention to that which is natural. Become aware of it. People of your planet are not aware of the original creation. They've created a very false illusion. Therefore, they are not in awareness of reality. If you think that you are totally aware of the original creation at this time, then you are mistaken. For if you were, you would see us, for we are part of the original creation. There is a technique for increasing your awareness. This technique will be given to you a little at a time so that you may employ each step. The first step will be to seek to understand each thing that you see that is a portion of the original creation. Take these things one at a time and consider them in detail and try to establish in your mind a totally detached understanding of them. If this part of the creation happens to be a leaf, then study it with care. Become aware of it. Do not rely on old impressions. Develop an awareness of each thing. This will be the first step. This instrument receives my thoughts and relays them to you. These thoughts are not my exclusive property. They are the thoughts of an entire creation of our infinite Creator. It is not necessary for this instrument to be used for you to know these thoughts. They are available to all people in all places at all times, for they are the thoughts of the Creator. And these thoughts were meant for all of mankind. In all places, these thoughts are the thoughts with which the Creator created us. These thoughts are very simple. They are a simplicity that is unique, for they are the very foundation of the creation. This is what we are attempting to give man on earth, this original thought. This is what he needs at this time. This thought can only be approached using pure language. It is not a common concept among the people of your planet. This is the reason for their difficulties. The Creator never imagined difficulties in his creation. They are the product of man's erroneous thinking. Meditation begins with a simple increase of awareness of the natural world around you. As you move down the corridors of time, let your awareness grow. Observe the beauty that lies about you. Observe the handiworks of your Creator in his creations. Observe nature in the raw, in your plant life, in your animal life. And then peer into the heavens and truly see the great works. Observe closely. Allow your consciousness to open wide and really take in the beauty that lies therein. And soon, a realization will begin to dawn in your consciousness of the true greatness of creation. It is important that we see the beauties of creation and begin to catch glimpses of the creative consciousness behind it. We recognize that the ability to sense these qualities of life is the direct verification that these properties exist within ourselves. Otherwise, we could not respond to their qualities. It is only by mutual resonance that we experience. Thinking is not something one does. Thinking is the act of becoming aware of what already exists. One does not try to think to become aware. One has only to remove his own thoughts, and the universal mind rushes in to fill the void. It is evident that all creations throughout this infinite creation are the works in either a direct or indirect sense of the Creator of us all. It is unfortunate that the people of this planet are unaware of the principles that were provided for the extension of the principle of creation. Our Creator provided each of His children with abilities quite similar to His own. Each of you has within you these abilities. They are not possible to be removed. They are within all of the children of the Creator and will always remain with them. It was so designed by our Creator. He wished for all of His children to have and to use the abilities to govern and mold their environments at will. Unfortunately, the people of this planet have forgotten the principle that was within each of them. It is only necessary that this principle be remembered for each of the children of our Creator to fully manifest them. The teacher that was known to you as Jesus was able to use many more of the abilities than the people of this planet. He was no different from any of you. He was simply able to remember certain principles. These principles are not at all complex. They are very simple. And an understanding of these principles is what we, of the confederation of planets in the service of our infinite Creator, are attempting to give to the people of this planet who would desire them at this time. These principles are not necessarily of an intellectual nature. They are of extreme simplicity and may be realized by anyone at any time. It is only necessary that you avail yourself to our contact through meditation in order to begin to realize that which is rightfully yours, the truth of creation and the truth of your position in it. Unfortunately, on this planet, there is what we might term as interference. This interference occurs because of erroneous thoughts that are manifested in most of the areas of your planet. These erroneous thoughts are of a nature so as to cause a problem in the realization of truth. These erroneous thoughts must be totally obliterated from the thinking of an individual if he is to be successful in returning to the original thinking with which he was created. We have attempted many times to suggest to you that this original thinking is one of total love and brotherhood. This is not enough. It is very difficult for the people of this planet to understand these concepts in an intellectual way. They have for a very long period of time been mentally conditioned by erroneous thinking. So they cannot easily become intellectually aware of the principles that are simplicity and truth themselves. It is therefore suggested that the intellectual mind be circumnavigated and the principles be directly communicated to the soul or spiritual mind through the mechanism of telepathic impression in a non-intellectual or conceptual sense. This we have found to be highly effective with respect to any attempt to get from an intellectual thought to a deeper understanding and awareness of the truth of the principles of our infinite Creator. It is for this reason that we have asked that the individuals who wish to understand these truths avail themselves in daily meditation, so that these impressions may be analyzed by them at a deeper level, and therefore a true and complete understanding be arrived at. If this process of daily meditation will be continued, then each of those who avail themselves to this will find that they begin to become aware of things about them in a new sense, and that they find that they begin to appreciate the true creation in a greater, more beautiful way. Pluck from your mind all resentment, fear, hate, anger. Leave not one stone unturned to take these things from your mind, and close the door. Close the door tightly against them. For where these things exist, the seeds of truth do not grow well. As our world is bathed in the violet frequency, only truth will be able to exist. All falsity will fade away of its own accord. That which has blinded man's eyes to reality will pass away before the pure violet fire, like fog passes away before the dawn. So meditation is a process of becoming aware of the creation about us in a new way. of quieting the preconceived and negative impressions of our world and letting the higher reality of the true creation take its place in our conscious awareness. This is decidedly not an easy thing for most of us to do. Quo says, "It is very difficult for man on this planet to look about him and realize the truth of what actually is. He has been conditioned through his thinking and through the thoughts of others for a very long period of time to see things as they are given to him, rather than as they really are. The way that they really are, my friends, is extremely simple. This simplicity is within each of the children of the Creator. Each of them possesses all of the knowledge that was the original creation. It is only necessary they avail themselves to that knowledge. And this is very simple. It is done through the process of meditation. When this is done, all the truth and beauty of the original creation become apparent, and then it will not be possible for the individual to be fooled by the illusion. He will not see his fellow men in any form but perfection, even though within the illusion he has been taught to disdain. This was not planned by the Creator. The Creator only planned that each of his creations should express itself in a way that he chose. This, my friends, is perfection. If man on earth could only realize this, he would once more think in total harmony with the original creation. This may be done on an individual basis. It is not necessary that this be understood in an intellectual sense or by anyone else than the individual endeavoring to reach this understanding. This has been demonstrated upon your planet before. The man most familiar to you having demonstrated this understanding is known to you as Jesus. He made the simple realization and then demonstrated it by his activities, this understanding. It was not necessary that he be understood by his fellow man, for it is impossible to force externally upon another individual this understanding. It is only possible that this understanding be attained from within. But yet this man demonstrated this understanding, pointing out a pathway, a guidepost for others, so that they too could find the original creation and once more lead themselves from darkness to light. For light, my friends, is eternal and infinite and real. The rest is illusion. Go within. Become aware of reality. It is within each of you. It is not in complexity that we find the Father. It is in simplicity that we find him. Contactees who are members of different cultures of Earth receive messages about the spiritual leaders in their particular culture. In our Western culture, the messages most often relate to Jesus. Quo says, "The man known to you as Jesus was born into the physical upon your planet. He was able to realize the truth of the creation, and then he was able to demonstrate this truth to those about him. This man came into the physical on your planet, as have many teachers in the past. Each of these teachers came into the physical for the purpose of serving the people of this planet. However, it was up to them to carry out this service. Each of them did it in his own way. This is within the limits of our understanding of the intent of our Creator. These teachers were limited by the same conditions that each of you and that each of all the people on the planet experience. The people of this planet have misinterpreted the meaning of these men. The people of this planet are at this time misinterpreting the meaning of the man known to you as Jesus. His purpose in his life was to demonstrate that it is possible through an awareness of the Creator's truth to experience what the Creator planned for each of us. This man worked what was called miracles. These were truly miracles to those who thought of them as miracles, but this was given to each of the Creator's children. He was simply demonstrating the result of thinking in the original way as planned by our Creator. He was also demonstrating that it is possible for anyone, at any time, to demonstrate this type of thinking and therefore the abilities that accompany it. Unfortunately, people have very much misinterpreted this man's life and teachings. He was attempting to provide an example of understanding so that each of the children of the Creator could seek the same understanding. This is the task of any teacher upon this planet or any other place in creation. This is our task at this time. This man Jesus taught brotherly love of one another and love of the Father. Through his understanding of the Father and his creation, he was able to demonstrate miracles, as you call them. These were not miracles, but normal, natural things that man can do when he realizes his kinship with the Father and expresses this love of the Father. All mankind are sons and daughters of the Father, not just one. We respect and love this man, Jesus, because he, out of many, was able to realize and demonstrate his true relationship with the Father, as all peoples of this planet are capable of doing if they would but learn the truth. In another session, Quo says, there was a teacher once known to you as Jesus. This man had desire. His desire was to serve his fellow man by demonstrating a knowledge of the Creator's love. Through this desire, he accomplished things that you know as miracles. This man had true desire. It is only possible to achieve true desire by initiating this yourself. If you're able to initiate a desire that is a true desire, then you will achieve what you desire, just as the man known to you as Jesus achieved what he desired. He achieved what he desired because he desired to serve his fellow man in a way that was in harmony with the desires of the Creator, for he realized his unity with the Creator. The master known as Jesus then was demonstrating the understanding that he was one with the Creator. His vibration thus came into harmony with the vibration of the creation, a vibration of total love. This vibration of the Creator was understood by him, and he desired what we understand it also. Hatan speaks on this theme in another session. At this time, I wish to speak to you upon understanding of truth. We could give you many things. We could tell you of many mysteries that would interest you. However, we consider that it is first necessary to first provide for the peoples of this planet a simple truth. That is, in reality, all that anyone in this creation needs to know. After this truth is understood, the rest of the mysteries vanish, for this truth is the key to a total understanding of creation. The truth is the pathway to all truth. I shall at this time speak upon this truth. I and my brothers who are with me, in the name of the infinite Creator, understand a simple truth. That is the important concept in this creation. This simple truth is that the creation is one thing. Everything that you can imagine, everything that you can see, everything that you cannot see, all that there is one thing. This is not realized by most people of this planet at this time. Due to this, they are experiencing conditions that they do not desire. It will be necessary, if an individual is to find the pathway that he desires, for him to realize the truth of this simple statement: there is no separation. Separation is an illusion. All things are one thing, the creation. To affect one part of the creation is to affect the creation. We are here to aid the people of the planet Earth, but we are here to aid ourselves. It is important to give service to others without serving yourself, for you and those whom you serve are the same. You are one. Man continually progresses up the ladder toward perfection, and though a rung may break under the weight of his many errors, still his goal is to reach the top and oneness with the infinite Father. In another session, they're speaking with Oxal. I am Oxal, my friends. This is of no consequence, for I am the Creator. Yes, my friends, you are listening to the voice of the Creator. You hear the voice of the Creator each day, my friend, as you go about your daily activities. It is only necessary to recognize it as you meet your fellow man in your daily activities as he speaks. Then you hear the voice of your Creator. Birds singing in the trees, my friends, speak with the voice of the Creator. The very winds that blow through those trees speak to you, my friends. And this noise that you hear is the voice of the Creator, for his expressions are infinite. It is only necessary that you hear and see these expressions. And then when you hear and see them, it is then necessary that you understand them, to understand that these are the Creator. This is what is missing upon your planet, my friends, the simple understanding that all of these things are the same thing. They are the Creator. This knowledge is self-evident. It does not require a complex analysis. It does not require that I prove to you what I am saying is true. Truth, my friends, speaks to you. It is all about you. It is the Creator. It is only necessary for you to recognize this totally, with no reservation, and then you will think as the Creator thinks. For the Creator recognizes himself, and there is no part of himself that he does not accept, for it is him, and he is one thing, the creation. It is impossible to separate yourself from the creation. It is impossible to isolate yourself from the creation. You are it, and it is you, and all of its parts speak to you, saying, "Be of the creation." It is only necessary that man on earth listen to this voice, and then understand its words. understand and then demonstrate this understanding, and then man on earth will take his rightful place with those of us who roam through this infinite creation. For this is our privilege, and this is your privilege, for we are all the same thing. We are love and we are light. All of the children of the Creator throughout all of the universe, all of this infinite creation, my friends, are truly seeking only one thing. Whether they realize this or not, they are seeking understanding, for this is all that is necessary. For once this understanding is accomplished, then all things are possible, for this is the way that the Creator designed it. This is the way that He provided. It is only necessary that you realize this. It is only necessary that you demonstrate in each thought this realization. And then, my friends, you and the Creator are one. And you and the Creator have equal power, for this is truth. Each of us is the Creator. For I can only be through you. As you serve, remember each and every one of your fellow men is deity. Think of each one that you meet not as this man or woman or child, but that each one that comes before you is the Father in essence. If you would think on earth of each one as part of the Father with due respect in that degree, then the earth's problem would dissolve instantly. Man is limited, but God is unlimited, infinite, expressing in all men all forms. To see the Creator in every man is a beautiful idea. Obviously, we hear this all the time with Quo and Ra and any other channeled source. To see the Creator in every man, it's a beautiful idea, but clearly an exquisitely difficult to accomplish from day to day. Yet the Confederation contacts say that this message of love and brotherhood is the only reason they are here. They truly want us to have this truth before us. They do not seem to care whether we believe that they are who they say they are. They care only about getting the message of love out to those on earth who want to hear it at this time. In one session, they said, UFOs are orbiting your planet in answer to the many prayers for help from your population of many beliefs, colors, creeds, races. We could not come to the aid of Earth unless this was a call for help on a massive scale. We of the Confederation of Planets, in the service of the infinite Creator, have used this method of contact in many, many places, with many, many people. Upon your planet at present, there are people in almost all areas that are receiving our communications. There are many of these people who do not understand what is happening to them. They do not understand who we are, as do you. They simply receive communications. The reason they have no idea who we are is that they have no concept of people coming to them from the stars. This is unimportant. The only thing that is important is that they understand the message that we give to them, the message of love and brotherhood. There are many other people who receive our messages who do understand our identification. In this case, it is only important they understand the message that we bring to them. This is what we are here for, to bring this simple, single message. This is what is necessary for the people of your planet to learn at this time. We of the Confederation have lived an example of this knowledge for many, many of your years. We are totally aware of the results of living the type of life that results from the understanding of the principle of love. We are not unwise in our attempt to give these principles to you, for we have experienced the effect of using these for quite some time. I am aware that these principles are not understood by the people of your planet, not even the people who have been given them directly through channels such as this one. There seems to be a barrier to this understanding that has been generated through thousands of years of an ignorance of these truths. This barrier is so solid at this time that it is very difficult, even for those who desire this knowledge, to accept it and put it to use. They're able to hear the words and understand them, and even though they agree totally with the concepts that are present, they're still unable to assimilate them into their own thinking. We've suggested many times that in order to assimilate this knowledge into your thinking, it is necessary that you meditate, but this is something that is also misunderstood. It is extremely difficult for the people of this planet to remove their thinking from the hypnotic state that has been created. Everything that they experience is created by their own thinking. You cannot experience something that you cannot think. Because this is all that there is nothing but thought. It is found in many forms and expressions, but thought is the source of all that there is, the thought of the Creator. And this is what you are. And you are able, like the Creator, to generate thought. The thought that you generate is your responsibility. The people of this planet each generates thought and communicates these thoughts to others. If the thoughts are generated are of a low quality, then they will in turn generate low quality thoughts in others. This is a self-perpetuating action, and this is the reason for the strife and confusion that is so abundant with the people of this planet. It is erroneous to say that you cannot do anything about a situation as complex as this one, which has been created by millions and millions of minds through thousands and thousands of years. It is only necessary that the individual remove himself in thought from the sea of confusion and express himself in the true love and light of the infinite Creator. This may be done at any time. It is up to the individual if he desires to do this. Then it is only necessary that he do it. This has been demonstrated to the people of this planet many times in the past by the teachers who are here to demonstrate to the people of Earth life and the expressions of the Creator as they were intended. It is a very simple lesson, but man on Earth desires to ignore this. Very few accept these teachings and stand in the light and express only the love and understanding of the Creator of us all. This is unfortunate. It is a situation that we who are in the service of our infinite Creator are attempting to remedy by giving instructions which are not only verbal, which have difficulty in penetrating the barrier which the mind has erected, but instructions of a nature that will bypass this intellectual barrier and reach the spiritual self directly. This is done, of course, during the process of meditation. This is why we have stated for so many years that meditation is extremely important. It is only necessary that you avail yourselves to these concepts, for these concepts to begin to cause the individual to realize once more his proper stature and position in the Creator scheme of things. It was stated by your last great teacher, "Know ye not that ye are gods?" This man understood the true created purpose of all mankind. Why is it necessary for people, especially people who have been made aware of truth through their seeking, to stop short of achieving the knowledge of their true created purpose and being? We have been puzzled at times by the inability of the people in general of this planet to be awakened to this simple truth. We suggest that it is necessary to maintain a continual awareness of your objective. We suggest that objective is to realize your true position in the creation, and then to act in a manner intended by the Creator. In order to do this, it will be necessary that a considerable effort be put forth. We find that the state of hypnosis brought about by the evolution of thought of the people of this planet is so great that if an individual is to free himself from it, it is necessary for him to maintain a constant awareness of his spiritual nature and purpose, and to augment this awareness with meditation. The effort put forth to do this will be much more rewarding than any other activity that the individual can engage in. This step must be successfully made by each individual of this planet at some time or other. Wouldn't it be reasonable to do it at the earliest possible time? For it is an extremely beneficial step. We would suggest that if progress is seemingly slow, then additional meditation may be necessary, for only in this way can the people of planet Earth free themselves from the erroneous thoughts that have been impressed upon them for so very long. Each part is a portion of the creation. Each holds equal rank. I'm aware there are many upon your planet who would not understand this concept. They feel pain, if it is within their individual being, but they do not feel the pain of others. This is not so with the confederation of planets in the service of the infinite Creator. We feel your pain, and this brings us to you at this time to serve you, for in doing so, we serve ourselves, since you and we are one. Your pain is felt throughout all of creation, and for this reason there are many here to serve you at this time. We serve you in the very best way that we can, To eliminate this pain, we give to you the information that you need in order to eliminate this pain. It is something that may be done in the twinkling of an eye. It is the way that the Creator planned. He did not, however, anticipate that His children would create from their own desires the pain that we now feel emanating from your planet. This is the result of the desire of the people of this planet. Unfortunately, these desires affect not only the ones generating the desire, but also others who live on the surface. It is what you call a contagion. It requires an extreme degree of understanding to live upon your surface and not experience this contagion. It can be done, my friends. It is only necessary that you know and demonstrate the Creator's truth in every thought and deed. And then you will be freed from the effect of the desires of your brothers who live about you on the surface of your planet. At this time, very few of the people upon this planet are seeking anything outside of the physical illusion that so constantly busies their minds with trivialities. We of the confederation of planets are aware of the trivial nature of the things that involve most of the people of your planet. These things seem of great importance to them. However, the importance of their activities is a function of their inability to still their active minds and return to the awareness of reality that is possible through meditation. The activities that seem so important to the people of this planet at this time are so very transient as to be, in reality, negligible, as are all activities within the physical except for that activity of service to one's fellow man. For through service, one builds one's awareness of truth. This is the reason for life as you know it in the physical. Truth is all about you, very obvious to those who have stilled themselves for the very short time that is required to become aware of it. It is very obvious to those of us who view the creation of the Father in its original form. All of its parts act to support all of its other parts. All that sustains each of us is a gift of our Creator. All of the joys and experiences that come to us are gifts of our Creator. It is only man upon this planet who has become lost in a complex creation of his own, with many thoughts of a complex but trivial nature that keep them very busy, in an effort to reach that which is of no value, a minor creation that will last only the shortest period of time, which has no value once it is attained, for he will lose it and once again return to the creation. Never allow your mind to be your sole ruler. A man who allows his heart to think will not perish. The thing is that man of earth in so many cases has a distorted idea of what is necessary, and he becomes rather controlled under pressures that he feels are necessary and are required by his environment rather than controlling it. It becomes difficult to withdraw and bring about the realization of his true I am. When man becomes truly conscious of his oneness with creation, this takes precedence over all other things, and as this becomes more and more a part of his consciousness, it becomes easier and easier to have a true realization of this. One of the larger questions which faces the entity who claims that the Creator is one universal thing, that God is love, is the question of evil. How can it possibly exist if the universe is all one thing? Here are some thoughts from Quo on this. There are groups who express themselves in ways that were never conceived by the original thought. The original thought, however, provided for no limits on expression. It is possible, therefore, for any of the Creator's children to express themselves in any manner that they desire. For this reason, throughout the creation, there are individuals and groups expressing themselves in infinite numbers of ways. You, at your present state of understanding, consider some of the expressions to be evil. We consider them to be expressions. We find that for our purpose, certain expressions to be of a more beneficial nature to our own enjoyment than others. There are, however, expressions of an infinite quality and an infinite quantity occurring throughout the creation. We attempt to serve those within the creation who desire our service. They desire our service because they're interested in our concept of truth. We believe that our concept of truth is correct. In our understanding, we know that our concept is correct. There are many who disagree with what we understand. This is their privilege. They do not desire our service. We would freely serve them in any way that we could. However, they do not desire this. Therefore, we do not serve. Evil does not exist. It was not created in the beginning by the Father. It has been created in the mind of man and can only be gotten rid of by man through a change in his thinking. For evil is not of my creation, O man. Evil is brought about by those who falter on the way to me. There are many, many myriads of populations throughout the cosmos. Many of them are extremely advanced, and a few of them are not only advanced, but also of a nature which you might call evil. The Creator is at the end of your path. Your faith is far stronger if you indeed realize it than any evil. Remember this, my friends, it is completely within your power through meditation to gain the love of the Creator that conquers all lack, limitation, and pain. But my friends, be aware, the only true nature of evil is separation from the Creator. He cannot touch you if you maintain your contact with the One who is all. Nothing from the outside may come into harm. From the universe of truth and understanding, you may show love and light upon all who come into your view. Do not fear, my friends. There is nothing to fear. Never waste time in fear or in hatred or in anger, for it is only another opportunity at such a time to experience and to demonstrate the love and the light of the infinite Creator. There's one last thing to be said about evil and our perception of it. In another session, Quo says, this is one way of designating in your own consciousness who is of Christ force and who is of Antichrist force. You will see many who will cry out, there is no God. Come and fight shoulder to shoulder with you for peace and love and brotherhood equally for all men, for all time. This is truly one who is of the Christ force. Yet you will see others who profess to be of God, speaking words of God, who will say that some are to be saved and some are to be damned. These you will know are not of the Christ light. For the Christ light speaks of brotherhood first and foremost, and will defend the right of all men everywhere to share equally with their brothers. It is not just evil in the abstract, but all sorts of troubles of every kind that seem to surround us in the physical plane. As Rueckert, a practitioner of white magical art, says, early in life, an impenetrable barrier is erected within the psyche itself. A barrier of inhibition is built up between the unconscious and the conscious thinking self, a barrier of prejudices, false moral concepts, infantile notions, pride and egotism. So profound is this armored barrier that our best attempts to get past it or around it or through it are utterly impotent. We become cut off from our roots. There is a reason for this, according to the UFO nuts. Every person creates their own world, whether they want to or not. They are creators. We create our own situations and surroundings. The conditions that we find ourselves in today are a result of past thinking. That is why it is necessary, so very, very necessary, to weed these things out of what you call the subconscious. Hatan, who is a portion of Quo, also says on the subject, you are aware upon your planet of night. This darkness is real to you within the illusion that you know as life. There is a simple physical way in which you can intellectually imagine that darkness to be only a local phenomena. The method of that understanding is to imagine that you are observing the solar system from the standpoint of the object that you call your sun. From the standpoint of your sun, there is no night. There is no darkness. There is no lack. There is no limitation. There is only light, an enormous, wasteful amount of energy, infinite, self-perpetuating, a type of light that expresses itself in all directions with all of its heart and strength. The concept of darkness, lack, limitation, or any petty restriction of any kind is quite foreign to the point of view of the inhabitant of the sun. It is for this reason, my friends, that we often describe to you the love and the light as being like sunlight or some form of light. This light, this phenomenon called light, is a spiritual phenomenon. It is one of the two building blocks of your entire universe. Light, with no limitation of any kind, vastly energetic and infinite in its capacity, is the basis for all there is in a physical sense. The shaping, the creating, the molding force is the consciousness, the thought, which we call love. Love shapes light into the vibration that we know as the physical world. The Creator's love is completely down to the very smallest detail a spiritual thing. The lack, the limitation, the darkness, and the want is the creation of that most chief of the Father's creations, that being mankind. Mankind is a creator even as his Father wished for him to be. He has created, and those things which he desires are things which he does not truly desire. He has invented a great many different ways to experience lack, limitation, and want. This, my friends, is only true thought from the point of view of the dweller within the illusion who rotates with the planet and sees the sun go down and disappear. A simple shift in point of view from the point of view of the planet to the point of view of the source of light for the planet will enable the understanding of the conditions of the planet upon which you now enjoy the physical existence to come into much clearer focus. We are aware that this is a far more generalized statement than requested. However, there are many things which do not have the spiritual answers themselves, but deal only with the illusion. The ability to change one's point of view will often banish a question and replace the question with understanding simply by the realization of a shift in the point of view. So the basic distinction which separates the experiences of wealth from that of poverty is the inner orientation, either towards a state of love and oneness with the Creator and a man yielding abundance, or towards desires and emotions within the physical illusion, which yields lack and limitation. Here they say Earthman must learn to distinguish between love and emotion. Emotion is a desire. Love is a state of consciousness where you realize a state of oneness with creation and all mankind, and you see all mankind in a consciousness of love, not a possessive love, nothing to do with sex, not a state of desiring, but a state of giving, a wanting for another, that which is for the highest good, and rejoicing in them, receiving with no thought for self. There was a man upon your planet who had great wealth, and in this wealth he saw much power, for his fellow man would eagerly do his bidding to share part of his wealth. And for this reason, many of those who dwell upon this planet, known to you as Earth, require vast quantities of material wealth, and therefore acquire what they consider to be much power. What is not understood by these men is that in acquiring this wealth and in attempting to possess much power through this wealth, they're giving up an infinite amount of power for that which is in actuality no power at all. The man of which I spoke, who had much wealth, used it to satisfy his desires, and his desires were for things which he thought he wanted and needed, for he saw in this wealth not only a great happiness which would come from possessing those things that he desired and having dominion over all other fellow men about him, but also great security in that he would not need nor want for the rest of his days. And therefore he coveted greatly his accumulation of wealth, and had at his command everything that he desired in great status. But he lacked one thing: he lacked love, for it was not given to him by those about him, and this he did not understand, and he became aware of his need for this experience that he called love, and he set about to discover how to obtain it. And he discovered those about him and asked them why he has not given love, and they could not answer, for they did not know. And he went to a wise man and offered to pay him much of his wealth if he would tell him how to obtain love. And the wise man gave unto the rich man all that he possessed, for all that he possessed was a pitiful small amount. And the man of great wealth accepted it, for he had long ago resolved never to turn down a gift. And he left the wise man and went to his home and pondered his gift, leaving the wise man penniless, for he had not paid the wise man, for the wise man had not told him how to find love. And as the days passed, he returned to the wise man, for he could not understand why he had been given all that was possessed by the one who was said to be so wise. And when he asked him, he was answered by the wise man, who said, "It is because I have great love for you and your desire of wealth. Therefore I give you that which I have to add to your riches, for this is what you desire." And at that moment, the man of great wealth looked at this wise man and said, "And in turn, I, for the first time, know love." And he gave to the wise man great wealth, and in so doing, he felt an even greater love. For the first time, he had learned the truth of the Creator's gifts to his children. And this man was very fortunate, for he had been able to discover a way of generating love, and yet man on earth continues to seek within his material illusion, continues to seek that which is of no real value, for he lacks faith. He stands upon the surface of this planet and experiences all the gifts of his Creator. He breathes the air and smells the fragrance of the flowers, and is in the company of his fellow man, and finds many things provided for him, and yet he does not understand. He does not have faith that within this creation he is supplied, and due to his lack of faith he finds hardships, for he does not understand faith. Therefore man in many instances does not seek the knowledge of the wise man, but he seeks a security and a power, and that is not secure and is not power. Again and again, the contactee messages stress the basic techniques for acquiring spiritual understanding of which they speak: meditation. There are many forms of meditation already long in use upon planet Earth. Christian contemplation has yielded many mystical revelations from the saints. Yogic meditation techniques have produced yogis who can baffle scientists by their abilities to control supposedly non-controllable bodily processes such as breathing, temperature of the body, the rate of bleeding of a wound, etc. The contacts which I have seen do not urge the adopting of one or other techniques of meditation. They simply suggest the basic processes We can choose the technique we find the best for us. In one session, they say, if there is dissension amongst you, we will contact you. Be calm and quiet. Another, unfortunately, there has been much misinformation about us and much misunderstanding, even of the ones who are aware of us, of our real message. We have attempted to maintain a simple message, for man on earth has confused himself for many generations with complexities. We have attempted to maintain a simplicity in our teachings in order to remove man on earth from the web of his entangled complexities. What we are here to present to those peoples of this planet who would desire it is the simplicity of truth itself, the truth of this creation, and the truth of man's part in it. It is, my friends, very, very simple. It is not necessary to get lost in the complex web of intellectual seeking that man on earth seems to be so fond of. It is only necessary that he avail himself to an understanding that is not of an intellectual nature, that he may do in daily meditation. It is only necessary that he raise his awareness so that he grasps the understanding of his unity and oneness with creation and the Creator. This we bring to man of earth, this we offer in hopes that he will accept it. Many of you are very much aware of the fact that words themselves are traps, for they mislead you, and you go into a state of argument over the meaning, the finer nuances of words and phrases. The quote message emphasizes again and again that we should not put our reliance in the fruits of our intellect, which expresses itself in words, but instead we should become silent and begin to listen for the still small voice, like Thoreau. They ask us to simplify the way we think our life so that our reactions to circumstances are not totally dependent upon our mentations, but instead have their grounding in the awareness of the Creator that can only come from meditation and contemplation. I am the voice, O mortal man, that whispers in the silence of your being. The quote says, allow your mind to stop, think of nothing. It is difficult to change quickly in the confusion that you meet during your daily activities and the intense use of your intellect that you experience. This is one of the great problems on your planet. It is not necessary for man to use his intellect in such a manner. Everything that man desires is provided. It is only necessary that he realize his true relationship to the creation. It is only necessary that he realize that he is the creation. And this is not done by intellectual complexities. This is done through a simple process, a very simple process of becoming aware. We call this process meditation, but it is not necessary that it be so formalized. It is only necessary that man realize that this may be done at any time. Relax and allow this awareness to be with you. I and my brothers will help you. We are here for that purpose. The human mind is like a sponge that can be saturated with every impression that comes along. When it is habitually concerned with its own personal interests, it is impossible for it to receive a message accurately, regardless of its source. To do so requires total elimination of all personal interests. In other words, the line must be clear. In order to get our minds clear, we need to slow down our intellectual mind until it allows us to listen, really listen in silence, not just to the outer world, but the inner world. The mental wheels need to stop for a while. Hatan takes another view at this. My friends, your minds are stayed far, far too strongly upon those illusory goals of the intellect, which your conscious awareness makes such advanced company of. These intellectual pretensions, my friends, are no kind of advanced company to be in. Their group name is complexity, and my friends, understanding is simple. Let us examine this concept. Understanding, my friend, is simple. It is unitary. It is not logical. It is not intellectual. It is not necessary that you understand. Understanding. It is not necessary that anyone around you understand what you're understanding. It is necessary only for you to seek the understanding of the true creation within. And this will attempt to give you in a simple way. With the intellect and with words, my friends, we can only approximate understanding to you, and your attempts to examine it on an intellectual level can only be a type of subterfuge, camouflage, and misdirection. You must not depend upon the tools of the physical illusion in order to build for yourself your bridge to eternity, for that which is of the illusion will vanish and be no more before you are able to cross that bridge. Let go of the preconceptions which are embedded deep in your intellectual mind. Allow yourself simply to seek, and then to have faith in the seeking. What you seek is simple. The creation is simple. There is only one understanding which we can offer you, my friends, and that is that the creation is one great being. The creation is you. The creation is me. Creation is all that have ever been and ever will be. The creation, my friends, is the Creator. As you look into the eyes of another upon your planet, you are looking at the Creator. As he looks at you, my friends, he is also looking at the Creator. If you may achieve this simple understanding, then and only then, you may live in harmony with the understanding of the Creator, who created each portion of his creation in order that it may be of service to every other portion of the creation. This is our understanding. This is our simple understanding. All is one. We cannot speak to you in any complex manner, for we do not have a complex statement. We sincerely hope that you may heed our caution and allow that portion of yourself which is stored with the knowledge of all of the creation to come into life within you. Allow it to do so by exposing it to the love and the light of the Creator through meditation. Seek, my friends, seek understanding, and through meditation, understanding will be given. You are the manifestation of the Father's creative force. You are surrounded and engulfed by the light of the Father. Your thoughts are the thoughts of all. All thoughts are one. We are all one. We are all perfect manifestations of the Father. We are at one with everything in creation. When you can realize these things and know these things, then you will be expressing the true you, the Creator. The Chinese philosopher Wang Yang said, "My nature is in itself sufficient. To search for principles in affairs and things was an error." This sort of sublime self-confidence is echoed very much in the same spirit by entities making the UFO contacts. Those of the people of your planet who do not desire the thoughts of those who now surround your planet are not obliged to receive them. This would be a great effort on our part. Those of the people of your planet who desire our thoughts receive them. Whether they may be translated into a verbal form or not is of no particular consequence. Which brings us back to the basic concept of the primary validity of free will. Owaspe puts it this way: the highest wisdom is to suffer all men to have full liberty to think on all subjects in their own way. This point of total free will's sovereignty is one of the mainstays of the Confederation's message. Thou art thine own master, even as all men are self-masters. I judge not, neither do I hold regrets, for all are given the right to choose. We dare not interfere in the form of force or control in any way. This would not conform to the Father's laws, to which we adhere. And so in the end, we get a picture not of gods coming to help a planet of benighted heathen, but of brothers who have heard our call for help and have come to give us what aid we can receive in free will. But no matter how much help we receive in the form of this information, it is our own will and ours alone which must turn to the path of seeking before we can begin to gain an understanding of truth. The nature of this search for understanding is so well expressed by the poet T.S. Eliot. We shall not cease from exploration, and the end of all of our exploring will be to arrive where we started and know the place for the first time. So this is a variety of different channeled messages with a very underlying theme with all of them that I wanted to talk about. There's a sort of frustration and sadness deep within all of the stuff that Quo material has, and that is that we are hypnotized and deep within an illusion on this planet. And it's just so simple. It's like you can bring a horse to water, but you can't make him drink. It's such a simple idea. The horse just needs to drink that water. Oh, go ahead, drink it. And I'm sure that you may have had that with your cat or dog. You try to get them to eat something and they don't. It's such a simple idea. It's an embracing of this concept, an idea of the understanding of Neville Goddard, that we are all one, that we are all God. God became man so that man may become God. And each of us within us is the Creator. And as we become aware of this, it's the exercises that Ra gives to becoming aware of the law of one, is just seeing the Creator in everything, understanding that all of everything is creation. And a miracle superpower comes from this. That's what they're saying with the different statements on Jesus, that Jesus became aware of this and was able to perform what we call miracles. They're not miracles. But we are so pulled into this illusion on our planet of thousands of years of thinking that we do not have a concept of the one Creator in this way. We think we do. Many of our religions talk about this stuff, but it's just an outside concept. The way that the economy and our society is, we need to make money, and which makes sense. We have to survive. But there's a point where we move beyond and we start to consider that everything else is us and everything else is the Creator. And we find this through meditation. And they're saying it's not complicated. A lot of what I do on meditation on the channel is sort of hypnosis. True meditation is just sitting in silence. And you can do that with the aid of certain guided meditations, but you can also do that just by sitting there, closing your eyes and just being aware of the silence. It's not hard, it's not complicated, but it's amazing how such a simple thing is so difficult for the people of this planet to do. Because if we all just sat down and meditated for 2 or 3 minutes, we would change the universe. It's not going to happen. Maybe we can get it 1,000 at a time, a couple thousand, maybe even several 100,000, and big changes happen on this planet. But if we all just stated the affirmation that we are all the creator, that the creator is in all things, and just started repeating this over and over, just for 4 or 5 minutes, can you imagine how this planet would change? This simple understanding, which is being proven in science and physics and everything that we know, this understanding that everything is the same creation, is the same idea I talk about with old New Thought authors when we talk about U.S. Anderson's discussion of the universal mind and Neville Goddard in the oneness of with all, everybody being God. They're all talking about the same thing. And if we can just embrace this concept, what is so difficult about it? Well, it's hard. The nature of being conscious on this planet, there is a sort of selfishness that is bred into our thoughts and patterns, and we have to overcome this hypnosis that we're in, the matrix that we exist within. If we can escape this matrix that sucks us down these rabbit holes of creation where we're within our own reality all the time, if we can escape from that, then we can change the world. So this is not a complicated quo message about New Earth or densities. It's very simple. You are the creator. And you too. And you too. You are the creator. My cat is the creator. The birds chirping outside are the creator. The wind is the voice of the creator. Everything is the creator. And that means that you are everything. And once you find that little bridge between you and everything, then you are the wind. And you can control the wind. I had this happen the other day. It's so amazing. I was nervous. I was outside. I was painting. I was so nervous I could feel my heart rate coming. I was frustrated. I was impatient. I had paint on my hands. And the wind was blowing all around me. And I just said, okay, I am the wind. And I need to relax and calm down. And as I slowed down my breath, the wind slowed down. Now, who knows? Maybe it's a coincidence. Not for me. As I've continued to do this, I've been able to change clouds. I've been able to change weather. And I've been able to change people that are not aware of this by imagining for them because they are me. I got pretty good at imagining for myself, imagining security and happiness, being able to eat some good food and finding love. And then I started imagining for others as if they were me with the same power, and I could see changes. I'm imagining for you right now listening to this because you're me. And I'm imagining so many wonderful things happen, that you find faith, that everything is going to be okay, that you will be taken care of, and that you move beyond those selfish things within inside of yourself and find the love for all. And when you do, you will have so much more. It's hard to embrace this idea, but when you simply start to strive to find a way to be of service to everyone, the world will be of service to you. And the joy and happiness and things that will happen, experiences that you will have, I can't even begin to explain them. It's such a huge transformation and change in your world. But it's constant. You got to be doing this from the moment you wake up to every meal that you eat. You see yourself in everything. You see the creator in all things. Continue this thought. Make it relentless. Make it an affirmation. And when you do, you will have great power, which is not what it's about. You already have great power. You're just not aware of it. You created the universe. You are all powerful. You're blocking your power by separating yourself from it. Stop separating yourself from your power, the power of God. You are God. Embrace it. This is not a sin to say that. That is not a sin in the Bible to claim that you are God. Jesus claimed you were. Are ye not gods? Embrace this concept. Understand this. All of creation is one. Focus on it. Meditate on it. And you will see the truth of it. And that is when you will so desperately want to share this with everyone you know. And when you do, we become a contagion that will spread like wildfire, because this planet already has a contagion of stupidity and a trance hypnosis, and you can overcome this by spreading this, by embracing this, by understanding it, teaching it. We are all one. You can find all episodes of The Reality Revolution at any time on therealityrevolution.com. And welcome to The Reality Revolution.